What's up, guys? So today is finally the day we are going to get into this gold car and start seeing about what we need to do and get some progress made on it. So here is the now sorted pile of parts that came with the car. So this is the kind of work that we're going to be doing. Let's do a quick little inventory and show you what to expect. Obviously, I'm not doing all this today. Here we have got both front and rear subframe bushing sets. We've got new front lower control arms. These are new stock springs. I don't know if we're going to use these or if he's going to send me other ones. I will let you know when I know. Here we have got all 4 strut mounts, all of the bellows boots. These are some very lovely looking BMR upgraded adjustable rear control arms and trailing arms, which also come with poly bushings that are greasable. We have got both AC Delco outer tie rod ends, AC Delco rear sway bar end links, energy suspension front sway bar bushings, energy suspension front sway bar link bushings, and Moog sway bar links. So I guess we'll use the bolts from these and we'll use those there. And in addition to this, we also have a couple front wheel bearings, which are not pictured right now. I just don't have them in this pile. But it's going to be a lot of stuff. So I'm going to dig into this, see what I think I've got time to do today, and we'll see what we can get done on this thing. Okay, so I decided that I would just start in the right front, see how much I can get done, and work my way around. When you're doing big jobs like this, where you're replacing a lot of different things at once, it's always good to try to find stuff that you can double up and do more than one thing at once. So I think what we're gonna go for right now is we're gonna pull these brakes off, swap this outer tie rod, this wheel bearing, and then while all that's loose and out of the way, probably gonna do this sway bar end link. The sway bar end link and bushings here, and the sway bar to subframe bushings over there. I think if we get all that done in the amount of time that I have today, I would have to call that a win. And then maybe the next time I have spare time, we'll do the underside and we'll get this control arm and maybe work on those subframe bushings. So that's the plan. Let's see how far we get. Okay, so at this point so far, I've got the caliper off. I'm just gonna stick it up here, try to get it to stay up out of the way. I've got the electrical connector for this unplugged, and I've got the outer tie rod basically off, but I'm gonna leave it on there until I get this out. So I'm gonna pull these 3/2 inches, and this, just like in my other axle video, push that back. We'll get this bearing out of the way and move on to the next thing. And at this point, I have got the old wheel bearing out and the new one laid out here ready to go in. That actually came out with no problems. So things are looking up for that side of things at least. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this wheel bearing back in. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do this sway bar end link and sway bar to body bushing, and then we'll swap that outer tie rods. We got the new part back in, got this torque to spec, the rear bolts in, the connector back in, so the wheel bearing is essentially done at this point. Move the brakes back over this way temporarily, and we're gonna go ahead, pull these out. This is just one big central bolt that goes through here, so it's pretty straightforward to swap. Then a couple bolts on that sway bar to body back there, and we'll get those swapped out. This next part is pretty straightforward. It's just 2 15mm bolts that you'll have to break loose from the subframe here. With the tie rod out of the way, it makes it a lot easier. Then once you've got both of those out, like so, you can just pull the entire bushing towards you and wiggle the bracket up. If it's been there for a while, expect it to fight you a little bit, but once you get it moving, it should come right off like that. Then the replacement that we're going to be using in this case, supplied when you drop the car off, are these energy suspension pieces, which are greasable. And I'm actually going to pre-grease them a little bit with some synthetic brake lubricant, just so it doesn't go in dry and it can move freely. And then all I've got to do is pull this apart at the separation, stick it over the sway bar, and move it into place. The bracket is the same deal. I am going to use the energy suspension bracket since it's supposed to be stronger or whatever. And I'm going to use the supplied washers just to make sure that I'm good there. And then there's just a little wiggling and finagling to get everything to line up correctly. But once you find your spot, it should go in without being forced. Then once you've got them started, you're just going to want to try to center this bracket as best you can when you finally snug it down. Like that. And if done right, you shouldn't have the bolts all the way to one side. You should have them pretty much right in the middle of that slot. That should center it between the holes just like stock. And there you have it. Okay, then I needed 2 hands for this sway bar end link, but just to show you kind of what you have to do. You're going to start from the bottom, stacking these up as you go. I like to leave this out at an angle like this so I can get it stacked up to here. Then you can get a pry bar right in between here and pry this sway bar up. Tuck this under. The pressure of the two will keep the middle section in place. Then you just stack your top on, and you got socket on the bottom, wrench on the top, and just snug them up. So that is the sway bar done. One to go. And this is the AC Delco outer tie rod end installed with the with it greased and everything now. Now, like I said, most of these jobs I already have videos on, so that's why I'm not getting very involved. And this is not so much educational as it's just a progress update. So I will link the videos to show you this stuff in the description. So if you need more details on any of this, just click on those video links and you'll get that. But now I've just got to put the brakes back on, the wheel back on, torque the wheel to 100 foot-pounds, sit it back down, and that is this side's progress for today. Okay, so we've made some progress. It's really hot outside and I'm tired, so I'm gonna call it for this video. Hopefully you guys can see where we're going with this. It's gonna be a good project. This thing's gonna be awesome whenever it's done. So make sure that you drop a like on this video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the parts and which ones you're looking forward to seeing me install. We will be really in depth with those BMR arms, by the way, when we get there. I just wasn't prepared to do those today, but I will definitely do that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, I will see you next time. Peace.